Hi everyone, I wanted to make a quick video showing what it looks like to play Cyberpunk 2077 on your iPhone and iPad. Now, obviously the game is not running natively on these devices, but I was able to run it using GeForce Now. So this is kind of a demonstration also of GeForce Now. And I'll start by just showing you guys what you can expect from playing on the iPhone and on the iPad, and then I'll give some of my more general thoughts on how GeForce Now ran in my experience a little bit later on in the video. So first off, I'm showing you footage from me playing the Cyberpunk 2077 on my iPhone, and this is using the free version of GeForce Now, and so that means that there's no ray tracing, but it still looks great. And you can see that there are on-screen controls. Now when you start the game, there's actually a warning that says that you need a controller to play, but in fact, there is the option to do an on-screen controller like this. So as you can see, it works pretty well, and the graphics looks excellent despite not having ray tracing. You will notice, however, that there is a fair bit of stutter, and I would say there's probably some stutter every 10, 15 seconds, something like that. And this is using Wi-Fi, my 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So that's what you can expect. I'm also going to show you now what it looks like just using my LTE connection. So this is again playing on my iPhone, but I've turned the Wi-Fi off and I'm just using the LTE connection. And I actually found that it ran even smoother, and that's probably because it's not affected by sort of my Wi-Fi dead zones in my house. That said, it's still not completely free of stutters, and I would say there are a few frames dropped here and there, maybe every 10 seconds or so, and there's nothing really game breaking. Again, the graphics looks fantastic even without ray tracing. I would say that if you want to play Cyberpunk 2077 in more of a story mode and less of a combat heavy mode, the on-screen controls are fine, but if you're getting into heavy action, obviously just having your thumbs is probably not sufficient. So next I'm going to show you now some footage captured on my iPad. Again, this is using GeForce Now, the free version, but this time I'm running it off of my 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and you can see how it looks. Again, it looks great. I would say maybe it runs a little bit better than 2.4 gigahertz, but not hugely so, because I find that the stutter frequency is still enough to be bothersome. Now, I captured this gameplay while sitting pretty far away from my router, and supposedly your performance should be better if you're sitting closer. I have tried that and I haven't noticed a huge difference. You'll notice that there are no on-screen controls because I have paired my Xbox One controller via Bluetooth to my iPad, and it works great. I would say that input latency from the controller was barely noticeable. I don't think that is the thing that will hold back this experience. To me, it is still the occasional stutters that you'll get. All right, so I'll just finish off now by talking about my experience with GeForce Now. The first time I actually tried GeForce Now, I used it on my laptop, and there were some 300 people in queue before me, and I had to wait a couple of hours for the queue to go down to 0 before I was allowed to start playing. And so obviously, waiting a couple hours to start a game is not ideal. However, the interesting thing is on subsequent attempts using GeForce Now on my iOS devices, I have not had to wait that long, even though each time it showed me that the queue was about 300 people. I was able to jump into a game in less than 10 minutes. And I think that is a very acceptable amount of time to wait. And remember, this is on the free tier. I do not have the Founders Edition or the paid version of GeForce Now. So bear that in mind. The first time you try GeForce Now, you might be forced to wait for the whole queue, but on subsequent attempts, you may get into the game a lot faster. I will do some more testing just to make sure. But yeah, so far I found it to be actually quite enjoyable to play on my iOS devices, because, you know, when I'm running the game on my gaming laptop, I basically have to sit at my desk, and the fans are running super loud, and even though the graphics are the best and the frame rates are smooth, it does still force me to be sitting at a desk. Whereas when I'm playing on my iPad or iPhone, I could be lying in bed. There's no fan noise. It runs completely silently. Sure, there's some stuttering going on, but if you're mostly just doing story type missions without combat, I think it works very well, and I probably will continue to use GeForce Now for this purpose. I will also note that if you have Steam save games, it will transfer back and forth from your laptop or local PC copy and GeForce Now. Like I picked up my save game without any issue on my iOS devices, and I was able to pick up from where I left off on my iOS devices when I started back on my PC. So that was awesome. I don't think that is possible with Google Stadia. So if you are considering getting Google Stadia, I think it's a great way to play, but it probably will not work if you've already started a character on your local PC. So that's all I have to say for now. I'll catch you in the next one.